Thank you so much for joining us for the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. This year, we have over 200 films and film-centered events from various countries, all happening across 9 venues from March 26th to the 29th this year. Today, I am here with director, writer, producer, key cast member Alex Alessi, and co-director, co-producer Jamal Green of the homegrown feature Homebody. Alex and Jamal, thank you so much for both of you joining me today, and congratulations on being accepted into the Garden State Film Festival. What would you like to start off by telling our live audience about your film?
The film is a millennial coming of age story, road trip coming of age story. So I guess that's the first place to start off. And it was pretty much filmed almost all in New Jersey, even though it's a road trip movie. A little bit of New York City, a little bit of Philadelphia and Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but otherwise it is very much homegrown. So
Nice. What inspired the writing?
So we're working on a bunch of ideas for films, and I was sitting down with our cinematographer team, William Kaufman and Michael Bernaza, and just eating Mexican food as you do. And we put the pitch out there. I just had this idea. I wanted to do something about people working remotely, because something I do, I know, Jamal does it. And I just got this idea. I have a Mini, and about someone going on a road trip and trying to go off-roading in a Mini for no reason, and just sparked the whole idea of what if you couldn't stay home with your family anymore and you had to move cross country for a job, and we're off to the races. Started writing it, and yeah, we got to filming it maybe, I want to say it was 7 months later or something like that.
Yep. So, actually, a quick turnaround.
What was the process like from, writing it to putting it on screen?
Well, I'll sit down. So when I go, I usually outline like the script. I will basically do your interior, exterior, like you're writing a script, and then just do a breakdown of the scenes while I'm doing that. So I did a quick one of those, wrote it out, and then I trusted, sent it over to Jamal and get your first reaction. Like, you read it, and you got there, and you're like, "Can I co-direct this? Because I want to make a movie like this."
Yeah, it was cool.
And then from there, we already have Will and Mike involved, obviously, going through there. So, we just trusted everyone. I really like to get notes when I'm working on a script. I feel like you can only make it better if you have constructive criticism and you take that and run with it. So we worked it as much as we could. We just kept going until we were working on casting and all that stuff. And then, casting wasn't so bad because I actually wrote a lot of the parts with people in mind for it. People Jamal and I have also known and worked with. And that's kind of the process we got to until filming, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. I think it was, we have a history of a good group of filmmakers and performers that we've collaborated with for a while. It was really easy to put that part of it together. And then, like Alex said, we bouncing the script back and forth between all of us. Even coming into actual filming, everybody understood the story, the idea, we knew the characters. It was symmetry pretty much all the way through. Those time to shoot.
It's funny because we actually met Sophia, who's one of our key cast members, met doing this interview for another film. That's how I met her. And then with other people we knew, and it's like, this is that. That's the filmmaking community around here. Yes, we all just somehow know someone that knows somebody, and then you start working together. So it's kind of how the cast was built, with one key exception, I guess, pretty much, or a couple of key exceptions.
So you've worked with a lot of your cast before, is how you found them?
Yeah. Sure. I actually wrote most of the roles thinking that person should do this part.
Okay.
It's funny because Sophia was obviously someone I wanted in the film, but there's a character of May who Chrysalina Griffin plays. I've known her for years, and she's really great and nails these kind of quirky, interesting characters well. But Sophia loved that character, and it's like, if May's not cast, it was like, well, actually, sorry. But they both just took their parts, no problem. And it made me so happy that I could write all those parts. Like I said, there were a couple of exceptions. The character of Don is played by Coda, who we did a casting call, and met this guy. He's just phenomenal. He was just on a Hulu TV series last week, he's off. I'm really proud of the guy. He's amazing. But he was one of those people you met and just felt like you've worked with him a million times.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Richard Kind, who we put in all this work to get with. I emailed with his people probably 100 times once they said he'd be interested. And yes, we let down. We actually had to move filming up the first like a week. We had to move up because that's what's available. And when you get someone of his caliber, you say, "Can we do that?"
Yeah.
Which, by the way, your first 2 days, you're working with Richard Kind for filming. So that was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously everyone worked really well together because you've made such a successful piece in that you are now in the film festival circuit, I take it. What are your future plans for Homebody?
Oh, I mean, we're waiting now. I mean, this is our debut, pretty much, Garden State. So
Awesome.
hopefully, this is just the starting off point. We're hoping that we get a few more festivals coming around, and then it'd be great to get theatrical. I don't know how that'll happen, if it'll be a small run or something like that, but we're just hoping that we can take this on the road for a year with festivals, let people see it, see what it's made of. I feel like it's a really relatable story, which is love. It's really good to hear. Our mixer, he's a guy out in Brazil that we worked with, Fiverr, and he said, I have to say, like, I was really inspired by this movie. Like, he didn't have to say any of this, and he was just really excited and happy with it. And the feedback like that, it just feels so great to hear when you've worked on something like this, that it connects with people. And I feel like right now, a lot of people need that connection to feel seen and feel like there's a movie that understands your life and the life of someone.
Well, speaking on connecting, what is it exactly that you want your audience to take away from Homebody?
Well, we definitely wanted to resonate with folks that we understand. The world's changing at a rapid pace. A lot of folks in the age group of lead character are going through similar things. People are staying home longer, having to stay home longer, or having to come back home after school and vice versa. It's just the world's changing at a rapid pace, and we wanted to let folks know that you are seen. You are seen. You're understood, and you're not alone going through this. What's happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just to echo that. I mean, I think it's not a solo experience with the main character or any characters go through this, but I think the important thing is you do see people that are figuring it out. Like, that's part of Lee's journey in the movie, is him going across country and meeting all these people that they're not in the same situation as him, but they found their way. However that might be, whether it's a farmer or some guys that run a boxing gym, they all kind of figured out how to make things work, and that's where Lee's at. He's trying to figure out how to make it work because he doesn't have a safety net anymore, and I think that's something a lot of people can relate to, and I'm hoping that's as relatable as we set out to make it be.
So, I mean, this project that you guys have put together, what would you say was the favorite part of it for you? And then what would you say was perhaps the most challenging?
What's your favorite?
Favorite. One, working on this project felt like working with family, which is awesome.
Nice.
We've collaborated on with just about everybody with so many different projects, even though we did have some new faces. And the fact that it was all done in New Jersey, and how we, some of the locations were pulled off, and how, we did so much more with less. That was incredible. The challenging was, especially, for Alex, is the scheduling. I felt scheduling.
A lot of people.
Scheduling, weather, locations, having to pivot in certain things, and then life stuff popping up. Like, I had someone supposed to be passing away during the second day of filming and stuff like that. So, life was happening while we were making this movie about life happening.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely echoing that. I think the cast and crew, it's incredible. This is by far the best cast and crew I've gotten to work with so far. And it's just because everyone's there for the love of it, and it was built out of community that we met. Literally, there were people, we had a hair and makeup guy Michael, who's incredible. And I didn't know him at all. I was just introduced to him through a mutual friend, and we were just going to bring him on for the Richard Kind days, because you got to have that. And he stayed on the whole shoot. He's been incredible. There's a lot of deferred payments with people since it was very self-financed, and everyone was amazing about all that stuff. Challenging wise, definitely scheduling. We had a location issue, a scene issue come up where we had this one scene we had to do, and everything fell through the location. And then because of that, the cast was like, well, I can't do it. But Chris stepped up and helped us find locations in Philadelphia that were better. They were amazing. Some of the best shots. Don's apartment, it's doubling for like New York, but it is so beautiful, and just the way people are able to come out and help and make that work when it was literally maybe days before we were supposed to film it. It's incredible. And then the cast we brought in that we replaced with on those days just crushed it in a tight time frame. So yeah, I mean, I think the challenges were really lifted up by the same things that were the best parts. The cast and crew just really helping and make it a really easy ride, especially when there was tragic days and difficult ones.
Well, I would love to go on for like an hour with you guys, but as we're running low on time, I guess one last question I do have for you is, what was this like, because you were also in it as well as behind the scenes of it. So what was that like for both of you? Because Jamal, you were, co-directing as well this piece. So for Alex, for you to be working both on the screen and behind, what was this like for both of you?
I mean, for me, it's a comfort to have Jamal there. We collaborate very well together. Like we produce, we work on the projects that we're trying to make happen. And yeah, when you're doing all that, and like there were days that Jamal couldn't be there because of stuff that was going on, and that once again, the cast and crew, same thing. I need you to watch. You need to tell me like if there's something I should adjust and change, because like I'm directing, and for me as a director, I don't know how you feel about it. Casting to me is like 90% of the process.
Yeah.
You find the right person for that role, there's not much you have to do. Like you may have slight adjustments with like I picked you to do that thing, and everyone works differently. Mara, who's incredible, plays my mother in the film. She wants a very specific direction. She wants to know motivation, like what were you thinking in the scene, and lots of notes to get there. And she does so great in the film with that. For me, it's literally like I need bare minimum with a lot of stuff, which helps in directing. But yeah, for me, having a crew you trust, a team you trust, goes a long way. And Jamal was like the chief engineer of that. Like every time he was there, I knew someone had my back when I was performing, and he was watching out for everyone and really like helped carry this film to a different level that wouldn't have reached with me just directing it solo. So
yeah, I mean, just to echo what Alex said, it's just the cast and crew picking the right folks before you start makes it a lot easier. And then the comfort level was me is just knowing that when Alex was on screen, him having the trust in me to step in and keep the same vision that he had for this film was very easy to do that.
Well, thank you both so much for taking this time with me today. Will I be meeting you both in person?
oh yeah, we're gonna be there. We'll be there all weekend long and Thursday.
Fantastic. Well, for our live viewers, Homebody will be screening at the Crystal Ballroom in the Berkeley Continental on Sunday, March 29th during the film block 12 p.m. to 2:05 p.m. We hope to see you at the Garden State Film Festival this year with over 200 films screening across 9 venues, including hosting parties, panels, events, and more. Get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. Alex, Jamal, thank you again so much for joining me today, and I cannot wait for your film to screen for everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.